Marilyn Monroe's death was determined to be, an overdose. And so a lot of those, very popular actors and people that were in Hollywood or in the limelight are known for having a lot of overdoses. But there's a lot of conspiracy theories about what happened to Marilyn. And there are some questionable situations that occurred, and some questionable facts behind everything. So now, Marilyn, of course, was known for her relationship with JFK, even Bobby Kennedy. And there's always questions that she was given some special information that the president wasn't supposed to give her, and maybe the CIA got mad and took her out, that kind of thing. And given the fact that the CIA was so involved in JFK's death, as the paperwork has come out in the last year, and this is 2023 when I'm recording this. In the last year, that paperwork has come out confirming that the CIA took him out. So, given that we know for a fact that the CIA did take out JFK, now you're looking at Marilyn Monroe going, okay, she had a part to play in this. Most likely. Most likely. And so there's not a lot of data in regards to things, but what they say, the excuses that they always give is that, she's an actress, so she needed to take some, pills to stay skinny, some pills to stay working, some pills to stay awake and focused, and some pills to go to sleep at night, that kind of thing. So she had like a bunch of, a cocktail of stuff going on inside her just to keep her working, because that's Hollywood. Unfortunately, they do that. I mean, you can ask any major actor out there. That's what they do to keep you going. And so, and she was a sensation. So, of course, they wanted to, bang off her as much as they possibly could. So, with that being said, the night that she passed away, now she was 36 years old. 36 years old, and it is said that Bobby Kennedy did visit her home that evening. However, there doesn't seem to be any sort of evidence of foul play associated with that. There's no evidence of foul play. The way that she was found was interesting. She was found face down, completely undressed. And, they said that she overdosed, off of stuff. And so when they did the toxicology report, she had a bunch of stuff in her system. But when they did the autopsy, there were no pills in her stomach. None. So that's where the big questions coming in. Like, what happened? What happened with this? There's an idea that some sort of, fixer came in, some sort of CIA fixer or something like that, mobster came in and forced a suppository with narcotics in it, a lot of narcotics in it, to cause her to overdose with that. And that way then it was quick and it was harmful and it took her out right then and there and made it look like an overdose. So we don't know. We have no idea. All we know is that one day she's alive and she's buying furniture in Mexico and purchasing a new place, and she had just re-signed her contract with 20th Century, I think it was. 20th Century, what's now known as Fox. And so she just re-signed contracts. She had nothing of the sort of any idea to take herself out like that. She did have some concerns because like the day, that day or the day before, or couple days before, she had a phone call from somebody saying, stay away from JFK and Bobby. Stay away from those guys. And it really concerned her. She made a call to her therapist about it, So it's like there were some warnings that there was stuff going on and everything. And when, whenever the CIA is involved, it's never... Whenever you have a 3-letter agency involved, it's never a good thing. So... let's get some details on what's going on with Marilyn, who she was, how, what kind of, personality she had, what kind of relationships and stuff. I'm going to see if we can get some information on like what she learned that made her such a threat. Because something tells me that she was a threat for somebody. And I don't know who. And so that's the question. That's the one thing that when I've looked into this a little bit and everything, now I haven't done extensive research. Maybe you have, but maybe I can't find a good solid reason as to why she was such a threat. Just the fact that you're sleeping with the president maybe doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the CIA is going to take you out. You know what I mean? So let's see what's going on here. Show me. Hi, Spirit. Thank you so much for being here. You know, you got a sweet talk, Spirit. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see Marilyn Monroe, please. I'd like to get some details in regards to her attitude towards life and everything. You know, how she felt about life right about the time that she died. In general, not necessarily like while she was alarmed and calling her therapist. You know, of course she's freaked out, but I want to know what her general demeanor was. Please show me the general demeanor for Marilyn Monroe, please. General demeanor for Marilyn Monroe. We've got Four of Pentacles. She was very private. She was very private. Okay. Yeah, and this is saying that you know, she felt like she was concerned for her safety as well. See how tight that person is holding things in. She held secrets very well. We've got the World, Death, and Ten of Swords. Jesus Christ. Okay. That was quick. You know, a spirit doesn't mess around. Spirit doesn't mess around. And Spirit likes to just put it right out there. And so you'll notice that a common theme that pops up right in the beginning of these readings is that Death card and the Ten of Swords. Because we're talking about somebody's death, right? And so this right here is saying, because, you know, I was just saying she is a keeper of secrets. Four of Pentacles. Keeper of secrets, very private person. And I think that that's actually part of the reason why she was taken out. She was a keeper of secrets. Because this does indicate that she was taken out. Based on the World, Death, and Ten of Swords here. It does indicate that. So, okay, so tell me, Spirit, I was just going to say, we've got the Sun here. I was just going to say, tell me what kind of secrets. We've got the Sun that popped out here while I was thinking that. What else? Six of Swords. King of Pentacles. Okay, so she knew the movement. It had been revealed to her, okay? I don't know where from, but it had been revealed to her. The movements of high-end people. The movements, I'm going to say, it could be money movements, it could be mafia movements, it could be all kinds of stuff like that, right? It had come to light. The movements of these high-end people. Are we just talking about the president, or are we talking about other people too? We've got a lot of people that she knew about. Okay. So we've got a lot of people that she knew about, and we've got, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a lot of parties, and there's a lot of really influential people there, and people would tell her things, not realizing how smart she actually was. And the idea that just popped in my head, that maybe she was saying, you will pay me to keep this quiet. If somebody pisses her off, you know, that kind of thing. I actually kind of like that. I like it when people use that shit to their own advantage, I think. But I'm a Scorpio, so I like that kind of stuff. Like people like Anne Boleyn that were just like, yeah, we're going to keep doing this until you do what I want you to do. Anyways. So Marilyn Monroe, tell me. So she learned a lot of secrets in regards to movements of powerful men. King of Pentacles. The movements of powerful men. And she kept them secret. Except was she talking to somebody about it? Was she talking to like one person? What I'm saying, maybe potentially one person about it. Was she talking to one person about it? A female. Queen of Cups. She was talking to a person, a woman who is like a best friend to her, who's very, very much a friend of hers. And I feel like this was okay, I guess it's time to pull this. Like a mentorship. It feels like someone who's a mentor to her of some sort, but is a really, really good friend. Someone that she confides in. She's like, I found out this and this and this and this, and you swear on your life that you're never going to tell anything. Come to find out, this Queen of Cups character, whoever this is, I don't know who this is. Maybe you do. If you do, put it in the comments, please. Because I love to back check this stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so this Queen of Cups character, this is a female that she would talk to. Was actually, I'm going to say, compromised. She was part of the corrupt system. And she was put in place to gather the trust of Norma Jean, Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean. Put in place to gather the trust of Norma Jean and keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on her. And when it started, okay, Spirit, let's go with a question here. Let's nail this down. Because if that's the case, that is pretty telling that there's something going on here. Let's see here. So Spirit, was this female friend of hers, was this person part of the corrupt side of these three-letter agencies? Was this person part of the paid by the three-letter agencies, please? Just to keep an eye on her. Okay. They almost missed her. Okay. Another thing randomly popped in my head. They almost missed her because they went back to the parties. It went back to the parties, and because I see where she's going to parties, and there's parties all the time. Nothing new here, right? Nothing new here, but something very specific occurred that caught their attention with her. Caught their attention. They almost missed her. They almost weren't paying attention to her. So then they started paying attention, implemented this person so that they could keep a closer eye on her. She would go out drinking with her friend, Three of Cups. She would go out drinking, so when she's inebriated, she would talk more. She would talk more about what she found out. Thing is that they were also using her as an informant as well, because she found out things that they didn't know. It's like she was an unknown informant. Like she didn't know she was an informant. She had no idea. Isn't there a conspiracy theory out there that she was like CIA or something like that? I think there was something like that out there. I don't know. I never paid that much attention to it. I just don't. This is stuff that doesn't affect me, so I don't care to follow it. That kind of thing. But I think there's a conspiracy theory out there that says that she was like an undercover agent with the CIA. Thing is, I think that she was an informant, but she wasn't aware that she was. She wasn't aware that she was giving information to this person who was transferring it back. Okay, let's go back to my question because they were showing me that party again. Go back to my question. So parties. They were showing me the parties, but I was asking about the female friend, if she's a paid actor. Seven of Swords, yeah, she was. Seven of Swords indicates that she was not who she said she was. She was not who she. If I can talk, she's not who she said she was. So. See, the thing is, I don't want to call her Marilyn. I don't want to call her Marilyn. I want to call her Norma Jean. I've always been a strong person about the power of names. Your name means something. And the name that is true for you is the name that I generally will call you. Like, say, for example, your name is Andrew and you go by Andy to a lot of people. A lot of times I'll be the one to call you Andrew. Just because that's your given name and that's the name that has given you the power that you have. Same with like David and Dave or Jess and Jessica, that kind of thing, right? In her case, the Marilyn Monroe was a stage name. And the thing is that to me, by calling her Norma Jean, because I know it sounds kind of weird that I'm doing that, but, or at least it does. It seems that way to me. I don't know why. But the fact that I'm calling her by that, I think it's because I'm actually tapping into the energy associated with her, and that's the name associated with her as far as in the system, in the Akashic records, in this simulation. So, okay. So Norma Jean is friends with a female. She's incidentally giving information to somebody. Not really realizing that it's going back to the CIA. Something had to have triggered why they suddenly wanted to take her out, though. Just her knowing secrets. Just her knowing secrets doesn't mean that she's actually a threat, though. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me why Norma Jean was such a threat? Why somebody wanted to take her out, please? Why was she such a threat? There's multiple answers for that question. There's multiple answers, so we're going to have to tighten it down. Okay, so we're going to ask very specific questions then. Because we're going to have to tighten it down because it's far more detailed than just that. Okay, so let's do this here. So tell me, Spirit, please, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your assistance. Did she have information on government agencies' movements for like wars and stuff? Eight of Swords. To me that says yes. It's a very mind-focused card. Something that causes a lot of overthinking. Okay. So there's that. That's for like, government movement for wars and stuff like that. Because remember, the missile crisis and communism was like, the scary thing. Oh, that took a turn I didn't expect. Okay. I like it when it does that. So what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing like she's had conversations with very influential people from other countries, even potentially like what I'm hearing is Russia, not China, Cuba. Very influential people from there as far as like in the government or something like that. Big people. She's had conversations with them. And basically what had happened is that they explained to her where they were at on like how they treated their people and stuff, or like what they, thought about, their country versus the United States, that kind of thing. The comparison between the two. And what had happened is it made her see these entities as not as dangerous as the government wants you to think. And she had enough information about that to be able to convince other people of the same thing. So now, when you look at her relationship with the Kennedys, right? Her relationship with the Kennedys, what if she spread that information to Kennedy? You know what I mean? I could see where, those three-letter agencies are just like, oh my God, we can't let that information get to him. Because remember, these three-letter agencies came from Nazi Germany. Look up your history, okay? Look up your history. This is where they came from. They are about control. They are about propaganda. And yes, I hate it as much as you do. I hate it as much as you do, and I hate having to say that. But it is the truth. I mean, look at the documentation that came out that the CIA is behind the death of JFK. Look, it's out. It came out just in the last year. It is out. And of course, mainstream media doesn't want to talk about it. Of course they don't. But I've seen the documentation. I looked it up. It's out there. You just have to know where to look. So, with that being said, if Norma Jean had information from, other entities from other countries and stuff like that, and could spread that information to JFK and cause him to take actions that, the three-letter agencies didn't like, there's your threat. There's your threat. There's the motive. Because remember, you can't have, a homicide without a motive. We'll never be able to prove, like, the weapon, right? We'll never be able to prove that. But, like, the suppository theory makes sense, considering how she was found face down, undressed completely, and overdosed on her bed. And her maid was found washing her sheets before they even got there to take her body. Why would she do that? Why would she be washing the sheets? How much you want to bet that whoever came in to take care of her violated her very badly after she was gone? Horrible, horrible stuff. Horrible stuff. But you know what? Humans are horrible. They really can be. Humans are wonderful too, but there's some really horrible ones out there. And so, Queen of Swords. They don't care. That's what that says. They don't care. Okay. So, is there anything else that Norma Jean... No, that just fell out. Is there anything else that Norma Jean, that she knew? See, that Empress was calling my attention here. We've got Empress, and we've got Ace of Pentacles here. Oh. Okay. So the Ace of... This Empress was on the bottom of the deck before, as I was just glancing at it. And it was catching my attention, but I wanted to see what would come out now. Of course, cards come out when they want to come out. Empress with the Ace of Pentacles. She might have been pregnant. This is a pregnant woman right here. See her? The Empress symbolizes fertility. Fertility. And combine that with an Ace of Pentacles, she's got a claim on somebody's estate. She's got a claim on somebody's estate. Oh. Can you confirm? Yes or no? Was Norma Jean pregnant when she was taken out? Was she pregnant? Did she recently find out she was pregnant? King of Swords. That's the main reason why she was taken out. Oh. See, I see this King of Swords here when somebody has come in and planned for someone to be taken out. That's when I usually see King and Queen of Swords. Because King and Queen of Swords, they are completely separate from their hearts. And they live by the sword, you know? Okay. That's why she was taken out. That's the primary reason, is because she was pregnant with somebody's baby. And it was a threat. And because she was like, I'm going to say a leak. She wasn't a leak, but she was an informant. And not a non-consenting informant. Happened to just, well, you know, she had that threat too, and that just kind of makes it convenient to take her out. Wow. Wow, okay. Can you tell me whose baby it was? No. They can't. They're saying it doesn't matter. They're saying it doesn't matter whose baby it was. Oh, okay. So they're saying it doesn't matter whose baby it was, just because the thing is, it was going to be pinned on JFK no matter what. It was going to be pinned on him anyways, even, you know, by the public. Just the public, you know, because they knew of that, you know, relationship. You know, so it was going to be pinned on him no matter what, and they could not have that happening. They couldn't have it happening. Was JFK involved in the decision to take out Norma Jean? Was JFK involved in the decision? No. We've got the Fool. Completely ignorant and blind to it. Like, nope, I have no idea what happened here. What I'm hearing here is plausible deniability. So, he may have known that was what was going to happen. Because he's just, you know, walking gaily along, and oh no, she passed away from an overdose. Oh no. Dang those actresses. You know? Wow, so he didn't really know about it. How did JFK feel about her? Let's get this detail. Let's do this. How did JFK feel about Norma Jean, please? What were his feelings for her? We have Page of Swords. What else? The Magician. Six of Cups. Nine of Cups. Oh. Okay, so we have Page of Swords. So initially, when he first, I'm going to say, met her or knew of her, he just kind of watched over her with this Page of Swords here. But then what had happened is that after watching, he had made the decision that he wanted to meet this girl. He wanted to, so he created it to happen with this Magician here. He brought it to, you know, he brought it to fruition that he could meet her. Excuse me. Then we have Six of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Ten of Swords. Alright. Yeah, so... interesting. Because that's connecting to this Ten of Swords up here that we saw in the beginning. Because a lot of times I told you that has to do with like how they were taken out, right? How they were taken out. His affections, Knight of Cups, his affections caused children. 6 of Cups. Children taken out. Shit. Well, now we know who the dad was. I sit here and I laugh. It's such a serious thing, but everybody's dead and it's long past. Wow, okay. Do we have anything else here? Because it seems like we've got the reasoning on what happened. How did JFK feel about it after she passed away? We have King of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles. He didn't worry so much anymore. King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. He didn't worry so much anymore about his security and his status of power. It must have been a really big concern. It must have been a really big concern that she was pregnant, because it was going to come back to him no matter what. So it's like a relief. It's like he was relieved. Oh my God. So JFK knew a lot of things about, like, those 3-letter agencies. He knew a lot of things. He knew how bad it was. He knew how bad it was. There's lots of quotes out there from him that are on, like, video, and audio from him, regarding, what he thinks about the 3-letter agencies and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that he's in a completely 100%, golden child innocent. This type of relief about his status being secured. This type of relief. Who feels that after someone that you allegedly were so into gets killed? Who feels that? Wow. But I mean, like, I think he has a sister. Yeah, he had a sister who was mentally handicapped. And when JFK was rising to power, and you can look this up. I think what is his sister's name? Rosanna? Something like that. I can't remember. He has a sister, and she was lobotomized. Because back then, lobotomy was the solution to mental retardation. So, it was the solution. And the fact that he was rising to power, they didn't want her getting in the way, because sometimes she spoke out and did, wrong things or something like that. So they had her lobotomized, effectively turning her into a vegetable, because that's what happened. They just quieted them down. And I want you to keep in mind that back then lobotomy was, Nobel Award winning, back then. It really was. Which is horrible. Horrible back then when that occurred. But, we know better now. They're like, it's safe and effective. Just like they say with so many other things these days. Use your discernment. You know what's right. Just because they say it's safe and effective, if you've got questions, look into it. So, anyways, I don't know why I'm going off on that tangent. But, I think I have just about everything here. I can't think of really anything else. We have, we have a motive here. We have, according to this reading, she was pregnant by JFK. She had been threatened by JFK. That's been reported. Not by JFK, excuse me. Threatened by somebody to stay away from JFK and Robert Kennedy. And Bobby Kennedy had been there at her house just that day. When she called her therapist, and she wanted to go and walk around, Santa Barbara or something like that on the pier. And the therapist was like, no, how about you just go for a drive and just stay home? What if the therapist was involved in this whole let's take her out thing? What if that was the case? What did Jackie Onassis think? Let's ask that question. What did Jackie Onassis think? Four of Pentacles, the Star, and the High Priestess. Okay. Four of Pentacles, she wanted to keep her space. She wanted to keep her position with where she was at. She's holding on to that pentacle, right? And she had the Star and she has the High Priestess here. She knew that stuff was going on. She knew that stuff was happening here. And that's probably something that's been agreed upon. There's a lot of relationships out there where monogamy is not a thing. You know, it's just purely business, right? And so... But what I'm seeing here... Something about beauty right here. Something about beauty. Like she wanted to be the beauty. She wanted to be the center of attention. This is an Aquarius card. You know, the water bearer, right? A beautiful woman. She wanted to be the caregiver. She wanted to be the only one. It's an interesting thing. So it's like there's a little bit of envy there, or potential, you know, territorial behavior between women, which, you know, that's what we do. So that's what we do. We're far more territorial than any men are. I'll tell you that. We are far more territorial. 100%. You step over those bounds and, you know, your people are screwed. So, she wanted to keep her status. It's like she wanted to keep her status. I mean, she knew about what was going on. She wanted to maintain her position, and she wanted to maintain, you know, being a beauty of the season, I guess you could say. Because, you know, everybody always talked about how beautiful Jackie Onassis was. You know, they always talked about that. And the last thing she wanted was for her spot to be usurped by Marilyn Monroe, the most beautiful woman in Hollywood at the time. Just because her husband couldn't, you know, put a jacket on it. All right. I'm going to stop this here. I think this is pretty good. If there were any other questions that you would ask here, just put it down in the comments. Interested to see what y'all think, or if you have any other ideas for other people that I should look into, please put it in the comments. I would love to hear it. Let's see what we can do. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you, Spirit, for assisting me in this today. And I will see y'all next time.